For today's Cyber CEO episode,
I run my own podcast. JM does all the editing for that for me. Okay, I can't do that. JM's able to take that and break that down from audio for the podcast, audio video for the YouTube channel, and text for the blog, and have it posted in all 3 locations, creating data lists. I don't have to do that. It takes him half an hour, 45 minutes to do it. It takes me half a day. So now the thing that I had to get through my head is I don't need to spend half a day doing that. So it's all of these little things that allow me to amplify the business rolling forward that it's invaluable. He saves me time. He doesn't save me money. He's a profit center. I make multiple times per year because of my investment in Cyberbacker.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have a very special guest coming back to the show. John, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for coming back. Of course, I know you have a lot of things to do. Really appreciate you giving us your time. Now, just like last time, we just wanted to talk to you more about how your cyberbackers helping your business, how you create a successful partnership with them. So before we start, first question is, how were you introduced to the idea of virtual leverage anyway, John?
I first learned about the virtual leverage and virtual assistant concept probably 5 years ago. It was one of those things where I was skeptical, to be honest with you. Like, okay, I don't have somebody here that I can keep track of. Can't pop in, the micromanaging mindset that a lot of us get into. And it was tough at first to adopt the concept. And I had my first cyberbacker 3 years ago. His name was Aaron. And my role inside the office changed, so I no longer needed Aaron's services. However, 10 months ago when I came back to Cyberbackers, there's a lot of things were changing in my career. I'm now a MAPS coach and needed somebody who could do all the back end stuff for me because I'm just not good at it. It's not just that I'm not good at it. I don't like to do it. And we all know if you don't like to do something, it's either going to cause you pain and interrupt and bleed over into the rest of your life, or it's not going to get done, or both. I was in the or both side. So.
Ooh. Gosh, so you had your first cyberbacker even before JM then, am I right?
Yep.
Just came back. So you also mentioned a few hesitations before you dove into the virtual world. What were some of these hesitations that you had?
Wondering if things, without somebody in the desk next to me, how do you know things are getting done? So it was a mindset thing from my point. And then, one of the other concerns, quite honestly, was is it going to be done to the level that I would hope it would be done, or I would expect it to be done? So one of the first things that I had to deal with was understanding that, there are people that are going to do things better than me, and admitting it, and then getting out of my own way and letting them do it. Now, JM is fantastic. It's what I've come, and it didn't take long to build up the trust. Send him a text or an email. Can you do this? Boom. Next thing I know, it's done. So there are lots of what seems to be small tasks and things that needed to get done that really aren't. They're monumental in building up, whether it's a coaching business or a real estate sales practice. One simple one, organizing a friends list on Facebook. So JM has gone and segmented my friends list into numerous different groups. So when we post, we can post to only the people we need to post to. If I've got something going on, a coaching playbook that I'm talking about, my friends and family don't need to know about it. The real estate agents that I'm serving need to know about it.
True.
So it's just a real simple way. And I never would have done that myself. I would have just polluted everybody else's Facebook feeds with stuff they don't need. So not only has something as simple as that created a better experience for friends and family. It's also created a better level of trust with the agents that I'm working with.
There you go. So really social media. Also, you talked about trust there. How do you build that trust? Because for sure, some of the business owners that are listening to us right now might be going through this first time working with someone virtual. So how do you build that trust with someone who's virtual anyway? Because again, you mentioned it earlier. You can't see if they're doing something or if the tasks are getting done anyway. So
right. The trust is incremental, just like you would expect it in any relationship. When you meet somebody for the first time, you can't expect to have the trust and the confidence that you would have after 5 years of knowing somebody. So it's the same thing. So what JM and I do is we meet for 5 minutes a day to start the day off. Here's what needs to be done. Here's what we're working on. Awesome. The next day, here's what we did yesterday. Here's what we didn't get done. So basically, it's kind of like mini 411s every day. It's what's our priority? What's the one thing we have to do each day? We meet about that. Now, it took almost a year to get to that point where it wasn't me over managing, because I was doing that in the beginning. And now it's like, okay, Jam, here's a website. I like how it looks. How can we copy it? How can we do that same look and feel? And he just goes and does it. And it happens. It's great. And I don't worry about it. Now as I pass all that stuff off to him, I don't have to worry about it anymore.
There we go. Because again, the thinking time really bogs down someone on a person. If there's not someone that could help you out with it, then I think that's the beauty of virtual leverage in it anyway, right? So also, you talked about you coming back to Cyberbacker, had a previous Cyberbacker even before JM. But before that even, was this your first time to work with someone virtual anyway, with Cyberbacker? Or did you have experience before? Oh, first time.
Well, I'm trying to remember the timing. I did have a virtual transaction coordinator. Mm-hmm. It was really simple. Here's a checklist. Just follow the checklist. And that kind of got things started for me. And then I said, all right, I need to get a little bit deeper in this. I need somebody with a little bit different skill set. Went around and checked with the person I was using to see if her skill set matched. It didn't. And then I reached out to a couple people, including my MAPS coach at the time was 𝗙𝗵𝗹𝗶𝗹. So I reached out to Deb and said, what are my options? She says, you really need to check into Cyberbackers. All right, so we'll go check into them, and ended up hiring Aaron through that. And the interesting thing is with Cyberbackers, you really go through the mini career visioning process.
Yes.
It's a couple step process, but you'll sit down, take 30 or 40 minutes, interview 3 or 4 people, kind of like speed dating, and find the ones. Okay, this person meets everything, work well with each other on the conversations. Next step. And then we narrowed it down to 2, and then we'd sit there and do a little bit more in-depth interview. It was the fact that Cyberbackers goes through the process of doing a KPA and beginning the CV process for us as agents is so helpful, because again, that's a lot of the heavy lifting. Oh God, we all make the same mistake, and I'm talking like in the voice of every agent out there. We all make the same mistake. I just need someone who can do this, this, and this. And we go and we just hire somebody who can do those little things, and forget that when you hire talent, life is easier. When you hire somebody to do a checklist for you, you're creating more problems down the road. So by having Cyberbackers go through a lot of the vetting process, made the selection process both with Aaron and JM so much easier.
Yeah, because just going through even the interviews, putting out the ads, scheduling the appointments, I think that they're already a full-time job for one person, right? Because it takes weeks for you to find the right person if you have to do it on your own, right?
Yep. This was real simple. Say, hey, Cyberbackers, I need somebody who can do this, this, and this. All right, great. Here's 10 people to choose from. I want to interview these 5. We go through the speed dating process, narrow it down to 2, and a week later, we've got the person onboarding. They go through about 2 weeks worth of training. And it's done. And, the beauty of it is I don't know how many Cyberbackers there are now, but the company has gotten so streamlined and so much experience that if I need something and JM's not familiar with it, somebody else is. And he can go to his head backer and get the answers that are needed. In fact, a quick little shout out to him. I'm proud of him. The kid's done really well, because he is now training to be a head backer also.
Wow.
So yeah, it's the opportunities the company provides for the virtual assistants is phenomenal. It's just like Keller Williams. The opportunities we have here are amazing. And the same opportunities for all the virtual assistants exist as well. It's fantastic.
Yes. The options are endless, actually, just for you to go up. And again, it all depends on you. So talk to me about your Cyberbacker, just partnering with the Cyberbacker. Right? You touched on it a bit earlier, just going through the speed dating stuff, the interviews. Now, in your opinion, do you think a values match between the cyber CEO and the Cyberbacker is important for the partnership?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can tell you that JM shared with us some of his dreams and his big why, if you will. And it's really cool getting to be a part of that, because what he wants to do is it's very big and honorable, and I love that. And we get to be a small part of that. So as a cyber CEO, as you said, I'm looking at that and saying, this kid's helping us out with something that is certainly valuable to us, and at the same time, we're able to reciprocate and help him get to a really big goal for him and his family. And it's wonderful. And I'm more personal in that regard. That personal relationship will trump talent. Talent can be taught.
Definitely. Right.
Skill sets can be taught. But the personality, the integrity, and all of the ethics, all of that can't be taught. That you have that or you don't.
100% agree with you there. Again, really, talent can be trained. All of these skills can be trained. Just the attitude is something different, of course. Now,
precisely.
One last question for you, John.
Sure.
You've been with Cyberbacker for a while now, and for sure, some of our listeners might be wondering, so how can virtual leverage help me in my business, even if they're not in real estate, things like that? So my question is, what are the advantages of virtual leverage through Cyberbacker, if ever you partner with the Cyberbacker, you think?
I can kind of liken this to the Pareto principle, right? 80% of your business comes from 20% of your activities. We all write down that same 30, 40, 50 item to-do list. And you know what? We don't focus on the things that are the most immediate productive. We focus on the things that are easy. We focus on the things that we can check a lot of numbers off, but we don't get the important things done. Here's what I found from my experience. When I go through that list is not me specific. Okay, there are only a few things on that list that are me specific. There are other things on that list, and honestly, 80 to 90% of that action list are things that can be done by somebody else or should be done by somebody else. And then when you dig further, they don't have to be done by somebody local. In today's day and age, most everything we do can be done digitally. So, I run my own podcast. JM does all the editing for that for me. We've got another, we're recording this afternoon. He'll have that edited and posted tomorrow. Okay. I can't do that. And honestly, if I were to hire a local company that's here and went into their studio and did it, and then they processed everything, I couldn't afford to do that. So now I get to create a podcast with some content that I think is good. I mean, we'll see what other people think, but regardless, is JM's able to take that and break that down from audio for the podcast, audio, video for the YouTube channel, and text for the blog, and have it posted in all three locations within 24 hours. So when I sit and look at what do I want to do, I ask myself, who's going to help me get this done quicker? What are my obstacles? And you know what the obstacles are? We get stuck doing all the things that somebody else can do. I don't have to process the video. I have to record it. I don't have to process it. So it takes him half an hour, 45 minutes to do it. Yep. It takes me half a day. So now the thing that I had to get through my head is I don't need to spend half a day doing that. Creating data lists. Ooh. I don't have to do that. JM, I need all the names and phone numbers for the people in this neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, we teach them how to do that, and I have no problem with that. But now it's like, send them a text message. I need 100 people surrounding this home, names, addresses, phone numbers. Within a couple hours, he's got it done. So, and sometimes it's sooner than that, depending on where the data source is coming from. So it's all of these little things that allow me to amplify the business rolling forward that it's invaluable.
Very invaluable is what you mentioned. And again, really saves you time, saves you effort, saves you money than just partnering with Virtual Leverage through Cyberbacker, of course. Now, John, first off, I'd like to thank you for your time again. Really appreciate you coming back. I hope this isn't the last time that we get you on the show, though.
No, not a problem. And Joe, I just want to I want to add to something you said. He saves me time. He doesn't save me money. He's a profit center. Okay, there's a difference. There's two types of people: those that like to save money and those that like to make money. All right, I make multiple times per year because of my investment in Cyberbackers. Doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen overnight. That being said, I can tell you that anybody that focuses for a year, if they're not making whatever your return that you expect on investment is. Now, I know that MREA has certain models and says if you're going to hire somebody, you should get 2 to 4 times the return net to you. I'm getting that and more. So if you're going to hire somebody, you need to just keep focused on having them do what they're supposed to do and then let it happen. Don't get in the way.
That's the most important part in this investment that you have in your Cyberbacker. We're very excited to see where the growth leads to, of course, for the next couple of months and for the whole 2023. Again, John, thank you very much for dropping by today. Really had fun talking to you.
Thank you. I appreciate your time. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.